Hey everybody, I am Jared Clark with Airguns of Arizona. Today we're going to be taking a look at a more entry-level pre-charged gun, but I don't want to say entry-level because this gun is proving to be every bit of a performer as some of the higher dollar rifles. So without further delay, the gun we're looking at today is the new offering from Diana, the Outlaw. This is a entry-level pre-charged rifle. It's available in 177, 22, and 25. And what we're gonna do today is look at what comes with it. We're gonna highlight the 22 in depth and show you what you can expect in terms of performance, in terms of accuracy. Good old-fashioned once-over, head-to-toe on this gun. So let's open up the box and see what it has to offer. Okay, so right off the bat, obviously we see the gun back here. You get a nice owner's manual that will cover all kinds of basic use, functionality, fill pressures, everything you should read before using the gun, but I won't bore you with the details right now. So all of that is in a nice, easy to manage Diana Outlaw manual. The other thing you'll notice aside from the rifle is this bag of accessories. And you got a handful of things in here. We'll try and highlight them really quick for you. First off is the 11-shot magazine in 22 caliber. This comes with every rifle. It's a very basic rotary style magazine, and we'll touch on loading it in the 20-yard and the 50-yard range. This little piece right here, this is for removing the gauge on the end of the air cylinder. So if you ever have to reseal, do any of your own work on this gun, this will be a really handy tool for disassembly. You have a total of 4 different sized Allen wrenches. These will be used for different things, adjusting the trigger, taking the stock on and off. Basically any sized Allen wrench that's on the gun, you get a wrench for right there. You have a thread protector. If you decide to remove the moderator, that will just protect your threads. You have a fill probe, which is nice. It comes machined into a Foster fitting, so you don't have to add a quick connect. This one's all ready to snap right into your female Foster. The only thing left in this bag of greatness is a complete reseal kit. So you do get all the seals in case you had a leak or needed to just go through and replace every seal. You have them all up front right here. And now we'll take a look at the main reason we're doing this video. This little pre-charged rifle here. So here it is, the Diana Outlaw. Like I said, this one I'm holding here is chambered in 22 caliber. And right off the bat, you can't really see it, but what I notice is it is very thin in its profile and it's very lightweight. The gun itself is very easy to manage. It comes in a nice traditional sporter style stock. I believe this is a beechwood configuration. It is easy to manage, it shoots hard, and you get a lot of shots per fill. So let's dive into it. Some of you might be familiar with the name Diana from some of your old German spring and break action guns, and even some of your new German spring action guns. They have a long reputation of making some of the highest quality spring piston rifles on the market, and now they are venturing out into the pre-charged gun. So it is the same company. You're not seeing 2 separate companies. Same company, high expectations for quality and performance. We went ahead and mounted the Aztec Emerald 3-18 power scope on this rifle. It fits it really well because when I see a rifle like this, lightweight, slim, it's gonna be shot offhand, it's gonna be carried around with me. So with the scope, this whole package comes in just under 8 pounds. So it's 7.9 pounds with the scope. Without the scope, it's just over 6 pounds. 6.1, I believe, is what it was without a scope. So right there, very lightweight rifle. You have a 300cc cylinder here that's gonna hold your air. And these guns are regulated. So you have a gun that I would classify as entry level when it comes to pricing, but you have a nice side lever cocking here. You have a regulated air cylinder that gets you lots of shots per fill, and you have a gun that comes in under 8 pounds when it's fully scoped up. So people who hunt in the field, people who carry something around with them all day, you're hearing these numbers and you're loving every single minute of it because those are good numbers. 40 shots per fill roughly. We'll touch more on that when we get back to the 20-yard range, but high shot count, lightweight, accurate, regulated, pretty good shopping list for an entry-level gun, like we said. So on the stock itself, this is a beech configuration stock. You'll notice you have some checkering, both up front and in the pistol grip. That's just gonna be for grip. It gives you a nice friction if your hands get slippery. So it's a very, very comfortable stock. Like I was saying, I really like the profile. It's thin, it's easy to shoulder, and it's great for shooting offhand. This gun is actuated by a side lever cocking mechanism. That is as simple as pulling it out at a 90-degree angle, almost effortless to pull that. We touched on the 11-shot magazine that came with the gun. As you actuate the side lever, the magazine itself is spring-loaded, so as you pull this bolt in and out, it'll actually hit the actuator and put it to the next pellet. So very simple, very easy to use, very easy to cock. Magazine's easy to load. The beauty is in the simplicity in this gun. Moving forward from there, you have a fully shrouded barrel here with a little moderator on the end. This gun is mild in terms of its report. It's not loud by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not gonna be mouse quiet either. It's got a little bit of a snap to it, but it's a clean snap. There's no hammer bounce, there's no shutter valve. It's very clean, and when you're shooting outdoors, what I've noticed is usually the impact noise is louder than the shot itself. So very manageable for backyard situations, any kind of urban hunting, it fits that bill perfectly. We touched on the cylinder here. We've been running these off of a 250 bar fill. No problems there. It gives us about 40 shots per fill, like we said, at 250 bar. Regulator works well to keep everything tight in that nice middle of the spread. Cylinder gives you enough air to do it for 40 shots. So it's a tight, long shot spread you get with this gun. On the top of the receiver, there's an 11mm dovetail rail cut right in there. We've just put some quick detach mounts on there, but very easy to mount to, pretty much universal for the airgun industry. On the bottom of the receiver, you'll see the trigger here. And there's a couple things about the trigger. On the trigger, you have a manual safety that basically just works as a battering ram. So when you push it out and it's in safe, it physically cannot be engaged because that safety is holding it. So when it comes time to turn the safety off, you kind of want to get your fingernail in there and you want to make sure that it's flush, because if it doesn't click all the way and it's not perfectly flush, it'll still prevent that trigger from engaging. Good trigger. It's also adjustable trigger. If you take the trigger guard off, you have two screws down there. One will adjust the weight at which it breaks, the other one will adjust the travel. It goes over all of that in your owner's manual, and you do receive the Allen keys you need to make those adjustments with the gun. The back has a nice rubber feel buttstock. Granted, these don't produce a lot of recoil, but this just gives you every little bit of advantage for comfort's sake. On the end of the air cylinder, you have an air gauge here. It is red, yellow, and green, I believe, so it's color-coded, and then it also has bar measurements listed on it. So when you fill, you go right to the edge of the green and the red. It's like I said, we filled to 250, no problem. You don't really want to take it. I think it says right there, yep, 250 is the max pressure. So don't really want to go higher than 250. You might see some errant shots in the regulator, but 250, it handles it just fine. The beech stock is raised on both cheek sides, so it is a completely ambidextrous stock. You can shoulder it right side, left side, there is no difference. It's raised on each side, and the pistol grip accommodates both right and left hand shooters. The Diana Outlaw comes with a 1-year manufacturer's warranty. Airguns of Arizona is the warranty center here in the United States for that first year. So we've highlighted the features that you see when you look at this gun. What we're gonna do is put some air in it, put some pellets in it, and see some of the features you get when you fire this gun. So let's stop talking about it in the showroom here and go get this review going at 20 yards. All right, so we have the Diana Outlaw at our 20-yard test range here. We're gonna crunch some numbers, calculate energy, see how many shots we get, and we're also gonna put 5 shots on paper. Loading the Diana Outlaw magazine is a simple process. You have 2 cutouts here. The one on the left you can see is just opened up a little bit more so you can get your finger in there. It does need a little bit of an extra push to make it seat, but as soon as it's in all the way, you just give it a turn and you'll get a nice satisfying click and it'll hold itself in place. We've loaded the JSB Exact Jumbo into the 11-shot magazine. Those have given me the best results in the testing that I've done for this video, and we're gonna see what they look like on camera here. So let's get it in the gun and start shooting. There's 5 at 20, and we basically just punched out the middle of the target. It's nice and round, very consistent. The gun is crisp when it goes off. It gives you a nice satisfying feel when it finally does engage. We filled the Outlaw to 250 bar. We got the magazine preloaded. We're gonna see how many shots we can get per fill on this rifle. Off of a 250 bar fill, the Diana Outlaw was able to get 40 good usable shots, our high being 903 feet per second and our low being 885 feet per second. That's a tight spread for 40 shots. And if you get the average, that comes out to 897. Calculated for foot-pounds, that's 28.5 foot-pounds. So here you have a lightweight rifle high shot count, good amount of knockdown energy. For an entry-level pre-charge gun like this, it was a lot of fun to shoot, and it's doing great at 20 yards here. I can only imagine what it'll look like at 50 and beyond. So let's wrap this up, get out to 50, and see what it does. Okay, so we have the Diana Outlaw at 50-yard test range here. We're gonna put 5 shots into a standard bowl down range. We're gonna see what the group size look like. So let's get to it. All right, so that's 5 out of the magazine. Let's get down range and see what it looks like. So here we are at 50. You see 5 shots right here, 4 of them, 3 of them went through basically the same hole. You have a 4th one up here and then a 5th one here. I don't know if the wind kicked up or if I pulled it a little bit, but that's a really tight group. Diana Outlaw, lightweight, accurate at 50 yards. It's a great entry-level gun to get your feet wet in pre-charged pneumatics. All right, folks, there it is, the Diana Outlaw. Like I said, an entry-level pre-charged gun that really, the entry level ends at the pricing. We saw it got 40 shots at about 28.5 foot-pounds. We saw that shot string was very tight. I mean, 20 feet per second max between the highest and the low. We took it out to 50. We shot one really tight group at 50 yards, so potential for this gun is very high. 20 yard, 50 yard, it can be a pest eliminator, it can be a target shooter, it can be a gun that you try to decide if you like pre-charged guns or not. So everything I did with this, it has exceeded my expectations. It's a lot of fun to shoot, and I think if you tried it, you wouldn't be disappointed. That's gonna do it for this video. I'm Jared Clark with Airguns of Arizona. If you liked this, subscribe to our channel, follow us on Facebook, or join our email list to stay up to date with everything Airguns of Arizona. Thanks a lot, guys.